And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Song of Tara for the final hour of this session 50 and moot, as it is, for our intrepid heroes and heroines. And yes, Janet had just been handed the she had just been handed the bone, and she takes it and she looks at everyone. There's some crackling going on. Oh, she takes it and she looks at everyone with this almost pleading look. It's pretty obvious she's not particularly happy with this, but she's gonna go through with it anyway. And she steps forward and she says, "Well, a lot of you were there, and Marty said it. They found this place that had been infested and that we hadn't known about. And of course, it was my home. Well, not really, but my parents' home and where I'd grown up. And there's sorry, guys, I'm just going to pause here. Who is making all that noise?
Someone who's used to push to talk, perhaps?
Isn't me. I can hear two. That clacky sound.
Yeah, I'm hearing clackety-clack sound.
Yeah.
Then we're down to two culprits, Heine or Chris.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
That's weird. Okay, well, in that case, we'll just continue. She says, I'm, it was my home, my where I grew up, my parents' home. I don't know how I ever managed to avoid being turned into something sick and foul from living in such a place. But I didn't, and now I'm here, and I had to fight in my own home against monsters. You all saw it. And I had to kill my father.
Oh.
I know he was a monster. I know what he did was horrible. But I don't know when someone is going... I don't know if anybody is ever going to be really ready to do something like that.
Philip walks over and hugs her.
Does he have something to bond over now?
Karen follows suit. She kinda had to kill her father too.
Yeah. I did what you told me to. Most importantly, I'm proud that I did it. He was an evil man, and what he did was wrong. And it was right to do what I did. And I don't regret it. And he was still my father. And then she hands back the bone and wraps her arms around her friends, and she doesn't say a word. Not a sound escapes her, but she's shaking like a leaf in a hurricane.
Oh. Well, Taryn isn't talking either. She just needs someone to hold her right now.
Yeah. And basically it takes there's a long silent moment, and then Senia takes the the bone, and she walks back towards Joe with it. But before she hands it over, she says, "I'm still the master of challenges in this cairn and in this sept." And I say she passed. I'm not taking no for an answer, Joe. I know Kat is down and out, and she can take it up with me when she comes back if she disagrees. I don't think she would. Janet is one of us. I don't know many who could have done what she did. And Joe nods quite simply and says, I agree completely. There's no question that Janet is definitely she has definitely earned her rank. And he looks towards Janet, who is still holding on to whoever is willing to give her a hug at this point still, because she's not doing good.
It is.
Yeah, she is. He says, "I am. You you did more than anyone could have expected of you. And you thought your friends, you thought you had lost your friends, you thought you had lost everything that had brought you into this world, and then you had to also kill your own father. You have... Yes, you are definitely worthy of the rank of Cleath and of Clea, and I will admit I have never named a glasswalker before. And people start to murmur.
Yeah, he has.
No, that was actually not him who named her. That was at the end of your rite of passage. That was Kat.
Yeah, but he
That's
did
true.
give her puppy name.
Yes, that's true, but doesn't really count.
All right.
It's so I haven't done that, but all things considered, he says, I think he looks to everyone. The obvious name, of course. I am not going to call you. I don't care what anyone says. Your name should be a celebration of what you did, not a punishment for it. And what you did, he says, you broke down the security and enabled us all to enter, those who were there. And you dealt the final blow yourself. And that means, I believe there is a word in hacking. I'm not familiar with it myself, but I believe there is a word called a firewall. Am I correct? He looks specifically to Taryn there.
Taryn is nodding while she's just holding on to Janet and
Yes.
Benna.
Yes, and he says, in that case, he says, and looks to Janet, you are breaks the walls. And Janet nods on the shoulder that she is currently buried on, because she is, yes, in no fit state to really say much of anything. And then, after a long moment of silence, he looks at Tally and says, "Well, normally at this time, it would be the tail singer's turn to regale us all with stories of ancient heroes and great deeds of the past and so on. But I think we shall settle for more modern deeds. I think that is more fitting. So, in this particular case, I think since we have no tail singer at the moment, and well, you will have to do as Master of the Howl. I'm sure you will manage just fine. So, by all means," he says, and puts the bone back into the bag. "By all means, the floor is all yours."
Tally inclines his head respectfully, and he actually gets his yes, please do. He gets his pack to stand up with him, and bids them all come into the center with him.
Well, do you?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if Janet can stand on her own, yes.
She can. She can.
Then she pats her on the shoulder and
he
goes
says,
in.
yes, and he says he quietly tells each of them basically what's been mentioned in the chat. Is he says to them, "When we get to the end, and you'll know when we get to the end, howl, just howl." And he turns to look at all the others and says, "This one is for us. It is also for all of you here. It took a while to decide on the right name for this one, considering everything we went through. In the end, I think it shall be known to the Garou here and all across the world as the tale of Blackwell's end. I tell the tale of 5 Garou, the fated pack of Raven's Eye, who by great evil were assailed, an evil that to all was veiled and which they would defy. From legendary victory, the fated pack of Raven's Eye was soon to find their newest quest. They surged at Bite the Flame's behest to seek a lost ally. Eccentric words sent all the pack, our fated pack of Raven's Eye, to where Throat Splitter's friend did bleed, and where great evil grew to seed and prospered full thereby. Though they escaped with their comrade, the fated pack of Raven's Eye were taunted by a voice unseen, as all their work it did demean, and made their dear friend die. But crueler works were yet to plague the fated pack of Raven's Eye, as memory of Nala dear was wiped from everyone's thoughts clear, and her friend's rage did fly. Dispirited by anguished loss, the pack returned to Raven's Eye, and Bites the Flame's mind's eye beheld her mate with her joyousness quelled, and darkness left to cry. A long-dead sea dog's guidance led the fated pack of Raven's Eye to County Cork's verdant expanse, and rescued Fina Roach by chance with further boons nearby. A hidden, holy place they found, our fated pack of Raven's Eye, hidden by O'Donovan's keep, by moonlight locked and watched by sheep, a prize for which to vie. Now finds the words, he who once led the fated pack of Raven's Eye did unto naive folly fall, to the distress and dread of all his packmates standing by. When back in Dublin safe and sound, this fated pack of Raven's Eye, the Bites the Flame learned her father was lost to dark oblivion's jaws, and her sadness swelled high. With this they sought to turn the tide, this fated pack of Raven's Eye, to inflict wounds upon their foes, revenge themselves of all their woes, and best their quarry spry. With members of their sept on hand, the fated pack of Raven's Eye assaulted the stronghold of those who as angel and maid did pose, to lead dreamers awry. The winged worm-cursed beast did plunge the fated pack of Raven's Eye into darkness they could not light. He struck them down in their lost sight, struck them from on high. But they fought back as best they could, the fated pack of Raven's Eye, and drove their quarry skyward bound, where he was felled by sure shots round. His life she did deny. As for the maid, she did deceive the fated pack of Raven's Eye, appearing as an innocent. She flew and off to London went in sordid schemes so sly. And even with their victory, the fated pack of Raven's Eye faced further taunts made from afar, as an old foe bid them to spar with him and days soon nigh. At this point, finds the words was by the fated pack of Raven's Eye from his place of their command plucked, and punishment they did conduct, to which he did comply. And by his sept this fool part of the fated pack of Raven's Eye was shunned, and made by all to strive for lost renown, if he should thrive to rise again full high. But strive he did, as all his pack, the fated pack of Raven's Eye, did with Cross's dark waters meet, to discuss how they might defeat Black Razor with a lie. It was a simple thing to ask the fated pack of Raven's Eye, to make sure they could move unseen, and to their nemesis convene, the fated had to die. While their foes made haste to waylay the fated pack of Raven's Eye, deceit was spread that they were dead, conceit that Pentex cut their thread, while northward they could vie. Concealed and safe at Dolphin's Hope, the fated pack of Raven's Eye improved their skills and attributes, grew mighty far from all their roots, until their time to fly. Replete they flew to London town, the fated pack of Raven's Eye, and stormed Black Razor's evil firm, guided by all that serve the worm, whose defeat they would ply. Though harried by a hated voice, the fated pack of Raven's Eye with argent clave did end the life of that Nefandus who with knife did health and joy belie. Though even here he still wounded the fated pack of Raven's Eye, for their kin that they'd hoped to save had been made those they'd sent to grave, with no word of goodbye. We grieve most for Throat Splitter of the fated pack of Raven's Eye, for both her parents there were lost. A cruel trick bore a tragic cost, and blood from blood did pry. Dismayed, but wholly unperturbed, the fated pack of Raven's Eye burnt down Blackwell's corporate scheme, with help from London's spirit keen, and watched his great wealth fry. Emboldened now they all set forth, this fated pack of Raven's Eye, to end Black Razor's life and all, and bypass those souls in his thrall who would his death deny. Within his home Black Razor met the fated pack of Raven's Eye. Though short the battle was they fought, their clave served well. His death it wrought, and cut his mortal tie. A grim opponent he was to the fated pack of Raven's Eye, for as Bites the Flame healed with charm, he bit and stole her proffered arm, and forced her pained outcry. Once they had won, they had a task, this fated pack of Raven's Eye, for they disclosed the traitor's name, who in amongst their sept would maim all those she could run by. Let rage and shame and defeat be how strikes from shadows is known by, for she shall be by all hated, though she was foiled by that fated pack of the Raven's Eye. Returning with their old foe's head, the fated pack of Raven's Eye came back within old Dublin's pale. but their Sep's position was frail due to a fool gadfly. The stubborn farts who dared waylay the fated pack of Raven's Eye, prescribed to notions rank and blunt, that proved each one a massive cunt, a rank walking pigsty. Standing by their rightful Jarl, the fated pack of Raven's Eye bore witness to the victory of cunning over bigotry that she did full apply. And even as dark times befell, the fated pack of Raven's Eye, they kept their courage and their will. They rendered many frail hearts still, they firmed each brave ally. So think you all on all the deeds the fated pack of Raven's Eye have done to further Gaia's cause, and how their legend in song was, how they shall be known by. Unbowed, unbroken we all stand, our fated sept of Raven's Eye. Let friend and foe know awe and fear when all those who should meet us hear our righteous battle cry. And he howls.
That is awesome.
Now stop killing Joan. I heard her dying through another microphone.
Actually, you probably heard me coughing through Joan's microphone.
Yes, I think
Alright,
that was
but,
it. Yes. No,
but
it
I
wasn't.
did hear Joan go, ah!
That was awesome!
That was
And the
fucking
Oscar
awesome.
goes to...
Yes, the Oscar definitely goes to
Wow.
to Chris for that. That was fucking amazing, as it has been the previous times, Chris. Also,
I sort of knew the cunt were coming, so I had to mute because I knew I would laugh.
that said, that did have a certain cadence to it. I've asked you this before, and now somebody out there in the listening audience might actually want to strangle me for asking this. But what's that iambic pentameter?
No, but I actually borrowed the rhyming scheme from a Tom Hardy poem.
Oh, it's the same period then, isn't it?
The basic. I think the rhyming scheme was 8 for the first one. I think yes, it was 8 for the first 4 stanzas, and the final one is 6. So it's 8, 8, 8, 8, 6.
Okay.
But no, iambic pentameter would be 10 all around.
All right. Okay. Well, it was fucking amazing. That's what it was.
Thank you.
Rasmus and Liam wants to keep howling.
Well, I imagine in-game that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Much praise upon you, Chris.
Yes.
Yes.
All the many praises. Yes. And obviously you get raucous cheers at the end of this, and you know, people who remember a word or two, or you know, something they you know, repeat it afterwards. Yes, the cunt line gets a lot of repetition.
Yes. My hope was that a few of them howled with us at the end as well.
Oh, I think once they pick up that is what is happening, they yeah, hell yes, you end up with a pretty unanimous howl there at the end. No question about that.
I mean that's why the last stanza had fated sept specifically, because this is for you all.
Yes, this is the whole group, not just you. And everybody is thrilled and if you'll pardon the pun, over the moon, because that's that was first and foremost, that was an epic piece of poetry, obviously, but more than that, it's you know, this is an evening that, or a mood that started out with people feeling frightened and in some cases even despairing for hope, because you know, Cat is down, what the hell are we gonna do? And then suddenly you come back from the dead and you tell this incredible story, and everybody seems to understand and remember that there is a way to win this, because that's what Cat has been talking about all along, and you just showed that yes, that is in fact the case. And and that's basically now that's what's that is what is as it rounds off and people talk amongst themselves and so on. You see what's his face, Joe, talking to Francesca and to Winda specifically.
Hello, what are you doing?
Hello, what are you doing? There's a massive amount
Sorry,
of noise.
I thought I was.
Oh, okay. It just sounded like someone started a battle in the background.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so yeah, he's talking to Winda and to Francesca, and something is you can't really tell what's going on. There's too much background noise for it, but
Yeah.
it looks like what is being said is serious but not unpleasant.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, right now Taryn is heading to say hi to Matt because you haven't had a chance.
Yeah, Taryn gets bowled over by Matt.
He's just like, oh, Matt, I haven't seen. Hey, you!
Yeah,
She's usually the one jumping him.
yeah, no, not this time. He's just incredibly relieved to see you.
Alright. Well, she's a happy puppy right now.
Yeah.
This moment is nice.
It really there's no question for all of you. You have I mean the rest of the evening and night, and the mood as such goes by with in a I mean the mood is uplifted. Everybody is hopeful again, and then at some point. Cesar manages to find his way over to Liam, and he says, "I just wanted to be sure that I had said it to you in person, but thank you. You have given me vengeance as well."
Well, if you hadn't gifted us with the clave, then we wouldn't be standing here now. So I think, in truth, that indeed we, should be the one thanking you.
Well, we can thank each other then, he says.
Yes.
And
On three. 1, 2, 3. Thank
you. He gets it. By the way, Heine, there's something with your microphone.
Yeah, you're talking into a bucket.
Yes.
This would be
Also
because
sounding like you're quite hoarse.
I'm really not.
No,
It's just the
It's
microphone.
just because
It's
he's
the
having his head in a bucket.
It's
He
the
should take his
microphone,
head out
yes.
of the bucket.
I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. The point is, as I said, the general mood for the rest of the night is actually pretty uplifted, and even Janet eventually manages to smile and enjoy herself again. It's although she's obviously been not in the best place in the world for obvious reasons.
Well, she and Finn and Taryn have something to bond over. They are probably helping each other.
Yes. She actually says to you when there's a chance to do so. She says, "I know I'm not part of your pack. I know that Liffy didn't include me or pick me as such. But when you decide to try to cleanse her, when you know what to do, just I'm only a phone call away if you need help. That's all I'm saying.
If Taryn is there, she smiles at her and says, "Of course."
And she says and looks at all of you in turn and says, I noticed something. Nobody looked confused when you mentioned Nala.
So we did break the bastard Nefeldi spell thingy.
I think you did.
Or maybe she broke it herself.
Maybe. But at least people seem to not just get confused and zone out, which is what used to happen.
Yeah,
That
but the thing
reminds
is, she was still at the hospital.
Yeah, I want to go back there and apologize that we took away her revenge.
Yeah.
What if she's bound here forever?
Maybe the other ghosts know how to help her.
Maybe, she says, Janet says, maybe, well, if we need to look for allies in unusual places, wasn't that what Maddie said?
Yeah, but the thing is, she's bound to the hospital, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Well, that's possible, but the ghosts in general would be interesting allies, wouldn't they?
They would. They would also give us an edge no one else have ever seen.
And you guys know the Fae, the Kithane, don't you?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk to them, and I'm sure that Eric can go and talk to the mages.
I'm sure the mages will be happy to help. They did really like Cat.
Indeed, and then there's all the people out at Tara.
Yeah, they've already said that they would be willing to help.
Great, because
they're talking about doing the moon bridge between our cairns.
Yeah.
It would make for a very quick way to get back and forth.
Yep, which means Janet says and cracks her knuckles with a very dark look on her face, that when these assholes arrive, we're gonna make them bleed. Buckets.
Yep.
Anal bleeding? Ew.
Ew, Fenna. Just ew.
She was the one talking about bleeding assholes.
I said bleed buckets.
Yeah, you said when those assholes get there, we're gonna make them bleed.
Very funny. Very funny indeed. Ha,
Taryn
ha,
just
ha,
sighs
ha.
deeply. I'm gonna go find Eric.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah. If maybe I should go with you and see if I can find someone who's rational and adult and sensible and stuff.
That's why I'm finding Eric. And then she heads off. And the first thing she does when she reaches Eric is, "Hi Eric, let's fight."
No, she doesn't, because Finna tackles her. Frankly,
It's
to
just
the
like-
ground.
Like, "Hey Eric, let's whoa!"
Yep.
You're not leaving.
I am leaving. And then
you're
she
not.
fights Fenna first.
So basically, you are having a small tussle in the middle of the cairn as.
Yeah, because Finna's not letting her get out of range of bad jokes.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
You! I think at some point Taryn swears up a storm with everything she's learned, and she is using the phrase that Eric sent over her phone because she has been practicing that Swedish thing
All right.
for 4 months.
I am Rakabash, hear me pun.
So yes, we have well, and of course to those who are still standing back there, Janet smiles crookedly and says, "I was going to mention something about those cats that you talked about, but yeah, never mind."
I think if they end up having a swear storm, I think Taryn will go, "At least I'm not a blooded Dane!"
Well, thank you for doing my job and smack talking yourself.
Hey!
It's at this point, I think. Could Tally be close enough to say what's this about about cats?
Yes.
Yeah, because not sure what else he'd be doing. There's something I would like to do with him, but not yet.
Yeah, sure.
But
well,
yeah, first we'll go.
She says, "Well, I understood that you knew some cats."
Well, Bastet.
Yeah, I've heard of them. I've never seen them.
And I'm sure they'd like to keep it that way. They're fairer, like us, changes, but cats, basically.
Oh. I'm also told we don't like them much.
Well, we did kind of try to wipe out the Guru. Tried to wipe out most of the other changing breeds some thousands of years ago, and that doesn't leave a good impression on people.
We're a bunch of fucking idiots, aren't we?
We were. Some of us still are, but we're trying to make up for it. But last I spoke to them, and I did speak to them with the rest of the pack, we came to an agreement. We'd respect their territory, they'd respect ours, and we'd sort of get along. Since I suspect I was unofficially made the one to speak to them during that time, so I can certainly go and deal with that.
That might be an idea. I'm just suggesting, obviously, but it looks like Joe has, well, let's just say Francesca and Winda have both been. I would have been dead if it hadn't been for Winda. I might be the one who, yeah, you know, my dad and all that. But I would have never gotten out of that place if it hadn't been for Winda.
Well, there's something.
Oh, sorry, please.
I'm sorry. No, you need to reminisce. I think.
Just saying that she's in the time that you've been away. She has stepped up and become a much more prominent part of the cairn and the sept.
Yeah.
She takes it seriously, very seriously.
It's good.
And I think that, well, I know that after all she chose to join the Get, and I think that she felt particularly angry when when the freeloaders, was that what you called them, when they set up shop here in the Green, because she hadn't stopped it, basically, which everybody told her was a bit silly because nobody had stopped it. But I think she felt somehow like she had failed.
No. Well, she might see it that way, but it's clear no one else does.
Indeed. And I do think she's, from the looks of it at least, she's doing better now. But she's stepping up to the challenge, definitely.
Speaking of stepping up to things, I think, considering all she's done, it might be good to actually. Excuse me a second. Tally goes to look. Well, not necessarily. Well, he doesn't have to do it in front of everyone, but he assume the skull's been put away by now. Obviously, it's been in a bag again, so he's not going to bother looking with that. but he goes over very quickly to where exactly is Joe and or Xenia?
Nearby. But yeah.
He goes over to them, full of piss and vinegar. He's feeling good tonight, and says, "Can I borrow you for a moment?"
Of course.
Now I know I'm just a lowly Welsh child of Gaia, the hardest child of Gaia this side of
Berlin.
Western Europe and all that. Yes, and all that. But I have a request, a bit of a heavy-handed one. If you've probably already considered this, but I personally think that for all that she's done and for all that she has proven herself to this this fine sept of ours, I think our dear Wyndham McAlpin deserves to be the new Wormfoe, don't you? Or at least a chance at that.
They look a bit sheepish and says, "Well, we're all about 2 minutes ahead of you."
Yeah, I gathered, but I thought I'd just check, because otherwise I'd have to get all shouty at you, and I don't want that.
No, she is the new Wormfoe. Absolutely, she is, and she's accepted it, and she's fostering incidentally as well. And that reminds me, Xenia says, and then she looks at at Joe, and Joe puts up his hands and says, I'm not looking Cat in the face after this and having said no. I'm just not doing it. It would be idiotic. And then Xenia nods and looks at you and says, "Well, she might be fostering, but." She says, and looks over your shoulder, basically at all of you. None of you are anymore. Not after that.
Meanwhile, Taryn and Finna are still fighting each other.
Yes. None of you are fostering after something like this. There's no way that does not. So, yes, well done, Adrian.
Tally beams, then looks over at the scrapping pair and just says, "Oi, girls! We're getting promoted over here. Show a bit of fucking decorum."
Shut up, we're having a bitch fight, literally.
And Tally just slumps.
Taryn looks up.
and looks at Xenia and just says,
And
"Yeah."
having said that, Finna actually turns her attention to them.
And when she does that, Taryn jumps her.
Taryn.
Taryn looks up again.
It's Fina speaking.
Taryn looks over.
Let her go, or you're not getting any for the next week.
She stands up, looks at Finna. It's clear that she is this worth it or not? And then she lets go of Finna. You'll get it later.
Or maybe you will.
No, you will.
Oh, really? Who has the upper hand here?
I
Hey!
do.
Finna holds up both her hands.
I do, says Fina.
And Taryn just goes, "Just because you're taller than me."
I'm taller than
And
you.
then she
No, it was
turns
Finna.
to the others.
Yeah, I'm taller than you. I am.
Is anyone saying anything? Did I lose connection?
What?
Oh, I just couldn't hear what anyone was saying for a while there.
Oh. Well, Fenner said, "I have the upper hand." And then Taryn retorted, "Just because you're taller than me," to Fenner. And then she stood up, straight back and all.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep. So, and that basically is what the rest of the evening goes by with is fun and games and so on and so forth. And while we are, in fact, still about 15 minutes out, I am going to round it off here for tonight. And basically let it, tonight having been the mood and nothing but the mood.
The mood, nothing but the mood and only the mood.
Yes.
Yes.
So help us, Gaia.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The microphone sounds like it's come back on full force, Heine. I can hear your breathing very loudly.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. There's no worries about it. We're gonna round it off here for tonight. With much more fun and games and merriment and so on with the for the pack and everybody in the sept, and there will be obviously the point is that when we get back here next time we're gonna start probably with you guys going to talk to various allies and getting started on ye olde plan to fix ye olde.
I shall let you in on my grand plan then.
Yes. Let's do that.
In fixing ye olde river, and
Okay.
I think I would be a raving bitch if I didn't give you 5 points for tonight.
Whoa!
Yay! Whee!
So how much is that total?
143.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to spend some of those points on upgrading willpower and gnosis.
Yes.
so-
I will also say that a significant part of that obviously comes from that fantastic amazeballs recital, which was something out of this world. But I will say to the listening audience, this was obviously session 50 of A Song of Tara, and it has been a blast up until this point. And we do hope that you will be back to follow the next adventure of this motley crew of mutts. And from me and from us here at CharismaToAC, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Boy.